During the planning of the guided reading lesson, the teacher carefully selects a book and reads the text while considering how to introduce the book with intention. It is important to consider how to activate prior knowledge, engage student interest, and establish a purpose for reading, including the demonstration of problem solving and reading. When thinking about activating prior knowledge, Stephanie Harvey, author of Strategies That Work, reminds us that we simply cannot understand what we read without thinking about what we already know. Our schema, the sum of our background knowledge and experience, is what we bring to our reading. Connecting what readers know to new information is the core of learning and understanding. Please watch the following video of Mrs. Reisenhoover working with a student who is struggling to comprehend a text. Consider what this student was lacking in order to fully understand the context.
So right here you said rounding and then you said eroding. So which one of those would make sense in that sentence? Okay, let's see if it does. Let's start at the beginning of the sentence and reread it with the word rounding and see if it makes sense.
Verity ran straight into the first pin and began to round.
Doesn't make sense to you? Let's finish it. Began rounding.
The 3 cows.
Okay, so what do you think it means, rounding?
It means where she is like running. I think.
Yeah, that's kind of tricky whenever we maybe haven't heard it in this context before. So when they're talking about rounding up the cows, he's trying to bring them all together. Yeah. So have you ever seen maybe in the movies before where it could be cowboys on horses, it could be the dogs. They're trying to bring them all into one place, usually into a pen. So they're rounding them up, which means bringing them all in together, maybe into a pen. So the word rounding, that's what that means. Okay. So once you start that sentence again for me now, thinking about what that means. All right?
Verity ran straight.
Consider what the student was struggling with. She did not have prior knowledge of the terminology used on a ranch. Therefore, it was difficult for her to comprehend the text. To piggyback on the idea of activating prior knowledge, it is also important to consider how to engage student interest. Nothing compels readers more than personal interest in text. Thinking about instruction in your classroom, what might be some techniques you have previously used to spark student interest? How might these strategies fold into guided reading? Some examples might be the following: catch and hold attention, stimulate the imagination, use novelty, support student feeling of competence and self-efficacy. In addition to activating prior knowledge, the teacher sets 2 purposes for reading. The first purpose is for comprehension. The goal is for the student to relate to a bigger theme of the story rather than simple recall. For example, read to find out how Kitty Cat solved a problem required deeper thinking than read to find out why Fat Cat ran up a tree. The second purpose for reading is problem solving. Effective readers apply a repertoire of strategies to comprehend the author's message, including the following: use background knowledge to predict information, monitor by rereading, cross-check one source information with another search for additional information, self-correct when cues do not match, read fluently and with expression, reflect to comprehend at deeper levels, regulate reading behaviors to meet reading goals. For a slow progressing reader, it is possible that a processing system that is ineffective or inefficient has developed. Therefore, it is important to observe and take note of which problem-solving strategies are used successfully and which are neglected. Visit Component 9 for more support with examining student data for decision making. Which of these problem-solving strategies might you feel most natural in identifying? Which of these might you need to be most mindful of as you move forward with your readers? Please post your list to the discussion board below. Respond to your colleagues' posts as well.